Welcome to Whitetail Rendezvous Podcast. This is Bruce Hutchin, host and executive producer. Each week you will hear tips, techniques, strategies, and personal stories from some of the best and funniest whitetail hunters in North America. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you do, tell a friend on social media. If not, tell me and I'll make it better. Thanks for listening, folks. Hey, folks, we got a new sponsor. It's called Buckwild Coffee. What's so special about Buckwild Coffee? Well, a gazillion people go to Starbucks every day and drink coffee. Well, why shouldn't Buckwild Coffee offer you light, medium, or dark roast with free shipping? All you have to do is go to whitetailrendezvous.com, go to shop, and order your coffee, and I'll ship it out for free. Hey, thanks so much for visiting Buckwild Coffee. The best brew in the West, the best brew around the campfire, the best brew in the hunting shack, the best brew anywhere. Buckwild Coffee. Get yours today. This is Whitetail Rendezvous Podcast, episode number 426. On the next show, we're heading down to Montevallo, Alabama, and we're going to visit with my good friend, William Crawford, who's the director of the President's Outdoor Scholars Program at the University of Montevallo. Having said that, William has crafted an unbelievable outdoor curriculum for kids who just love the outdoors but can't seem to put it together in college, can't find the right curriculum. So Montevallo is a liberal arts school. And with that, Dr. Stewart, the president of the university, came to William and said, hey, what if we did this? And they're starting a curriculum that's unique throughout the country about the outdoors, everything about the outdoors, anything you're thinking, gee, I wish I had known that when I was going to college or sooner. They're teaching the kids about habitat, about food plots, about marketing, about the outdoor industry, all these things rolled up into one, the President's Outdoor Scholars Program. I'm sure you're going to love the show. Hey, folks, this is Bruce Hudson, the host, executive producer of Whitetail Rendezvous. And I got a special friend and a special guest on today. His name is William Crawford. And William is the director of the President's Outdoor Scholars. And he's going to talk to us about Dr. Stewart's dream and vision to start this program.
Thanks, Bruce. Glad we were able to get together and do this. Dr. John Stewart, who is the president of the University of Montevallo, had a vision, and his vision involved young people in the outdoors. About 3 years ago, Dr. Stewart came to me with an idea of developing a program that would be very beneficial to college-age students. He came to me with a question. And this question, I thought it was a trick question, because when the president of the university comes to you and asks you a question, you want to make sure you give them the right answer. But his question to me was, what do young people in the South enjoy doing outside of athletics? And I thought for about half a second, and I answered, the outdoors, hunting and fishing. And he says, well, that's kind of what I'm thinking. And I asked him, I said, well, why do you ask this question? And he says, well, I think we ought to develop a program that keeps students plugged into the outdoors while they're in college. And the reason he had this idea is because when he was off in college many years ago, he was taken away from his home turf, his outdoor playground, being 8 hours away from home. And he felt like he missed out on a lot of opportunity related to the outdoors. Dr. Stewart grew up on the coast of Delaware in the salt marshes, offshore fishing, and waterfowl hunting. And when he was 8 hours away from home, he never got to participate in any of these outdoor activities unless he was home for a holiday or a little bit of time during the summer when he wasn't working. So again, it brought back to him that he felt like he missed out on a lot. And he wanted to develop a program that kept students plugged into the outdoors while they were in college. So many young people, when they go off to college, they're disconnected from the outdoors or things that they grew up doing. because they're out trying to get an education. They can still get an education and still be a part of the outdoors. They just needed something to fall back on. And that's where the whole idea and vision of this President's Outdoor Scholars Program came about.
Yeah, when you think of that, how long ago was that discussion? And let's talk about where you are today.
Right. Yeah, that discussion happened back in 2015. And again, Dr. Stewart had to get some reassurance because he's, going out on a limb, doing something that nobody else has ever done before, especially on a college campus. And so it took several months of me convincing him that, hey, I think this will really be good. Not only for the students, but heck, myself. I'd love to do something like this to teach students about the outdoors and keeping them involved. So after a couple months of convincing him and giving him that reassurance that he needed, we jumped into it and said, all right, we're going for it. And the bad thing is the time of the year that it was. I mean, we were basically 5 months, 4 to 5 months from the time school started the following fall semester. So we had to hit the ground running and try to find some students to plug into the program. We had to go out and raise a lot of money to kind of get things going, and we were able to do that. The first year, we had 8 students enrolled in the program. We were able to raise about $25,000 in about a 4-month period to kind of help get the program kick-started, to help pay for conservation projects, scholarships, and some of the trips and activities that our students were planning to go on. Right away, we saw that this program was going to have a huge impact on young people. We were getting attention from people who might not typically go off to college, had no desire to go off to college. One of our better students fell in that category. He, after high school, he wanted to get a job and get out and start working and making money. It wasn't that he wasn't capable or prepared for college coursework. He just wasn't motivated. And having him come in and have above a 3.0 grade point average for 2 years and be one of our top students, it just spoke volumes to us to let us see that there was definitely a need out there for that. So fast forward through the first year, we're going into year 2, and now we have 22 students in the program. So we've, went out, hit the recruiting trail, promoting this program, and we doubled our numbers in what we had. And again, it let us see that these students and these young people were hungry for something. We were able to branch out into Tennessee and get some students, and not just our students here in Alabama. So we were starting to have an impact on different young people throughout the Southeast. Moving into coming up into year 3, which we will start classes here next week. We're tabbed to have 40 students in the program in year 3. We have students from Alabama, Tennessee, Florida, Georgia, and South Carolina that are going to be involved in this program for this coming year. So it's amazing how fast we've grown in this short amount of time. It's amazing how much support that we've gained through the outdoor industry in this time, and all that we've been able to do and accomplish in just 3 short years. And, we have internships that are available for our students already. We've even had a couple of job offers for students this summer, but just so happen we don't have any students that have graduated yet. So a lot of good things are coming up just in 2.5 short years of this program's life.
Let's talk about the recruiting effort and social media. I know you guys are up on Instagram. I'm follower or whatever I am. I see your post. And so how are you using social media to reach out to find kids throughout literally North America?
Social media has been such a huge asset to us. As anybody well knows, you can have the best product on the face of the earth, but if nobody knows about it, it's not going to do anybody any good. In social media, being able to reach, thousands and thousands of people on a daily basis is huge. What we're starting to see now is not us going out and directly trying to find these students. The students are finding us. We polled our class that's coming in last year's class to see how they found out about our program and our institution. And about 75% of them said they heard about us through social media, and that was their first contact was through social media. So we're trying to do as much as we can on Instagram and Facebook, and we've just signed on Twitter to get our message out of what we're doing and what we're about, because we want the best and the brightest minds across the country, students that are hungry and want to know about career opportunities related to the outdoor industry, want to be able to find that job or have that career that will fulfill a lifelong dream for a lot of these people. It's amazing how many young people would love to do something related to the outdoors, but they just don't know how to go about doing it. And that's what this program's about. It's about educating them on those opportunities and introducing them to different avenues and allow them to network with different people that are in the industry. So, social media has played a huge part in those recruiting efforts.
Now, what about the Outdoor Lives and I think Deer and Deer Hunting, Bugle Magazine, Ducks Unlimited? I mean, there's a lot of opportunities for somebody to come in just like we're doing and spending an hour with you or so and talking about what you're doing. So people should interview you or could interview you. Your thoughts on that? Has that happened?
Yeah, we've had a lot of publicity here in the state of Alabama, just because this is our home state. But we're starting to see more and more branching out into other areas. Again, this program, what we have is so unique. There's nothing else like it anywhere in the country. And it's a way to keep young people involved in the outdoors and educate them on a career. And, it's anything from newspaper articles to articles in magazines to podcasts to, radio interviews. We're starting to see more and more of that take place. So, anytime we can do something like that to promote this program and our university, we're more than willing to share, to get the word out, because again, we want to reach as many people as we can from, regardless of where they're located. Our application pool, even though we weren't able to get them this year, we had applicants from Texas, California, Colorado, Minnesota, Michigan. I mean, there was 16 different states where we received applications from this year in just year 2 of the program. So we feel like we're starting to reach those people. And the only thing that's gonna help us do that and to reach our goal and to educate these young people is promoting and being able to promote through, again, social media, through interviews. We're all about it.
Now, what about the Mossy Oaks or Hoyt, Bose? I mean, it just goes on and on. The people out there in the industry, because it's a very large industry. It's billions of dollars, but it's really a small industry. Have you reached out to Bill Jordan and said, hey, this is what we're doing?
We've reached out to a lot of different companies through the outdoor industry. Our very first meeting that we had with an outdoor company was Buckmasters. Being just about an hour down the road, we went in, sat down, had a meeting with them, and they jumped on board right away. They do a big scholarship to one of our incoming freshmen every year that is based on an essay that they do for their application process. And they always pick the best candidate who they think would best represents their organization. So we were very grateful and thankful that that they, you know, basically took a gamble on us being a new startup program, and you know, had the faith in us to put out a good product and something that they would put their name on. You know, outside of that, we've reached out to some other outdoor companies. You know, from the camos line to the bow manufacturers. A lot of those companies have done things for us, whether Mossy Oak invited us to their facilities last year to learn about branding and marketing and all the different divisions they have within Mossy Oak, which it was a great hands-on learning experience for our students. You know, the Resistance TV, Kyle Fairfield, he's jumped on board. Their group invites several students down every year down to Louisiana, and we do a deer and duck hunt with them. So you know, our people that we reach out to, you know, they do all different types of things. You know, it's not a cookie cutter scenario where everybody has to do the same thing to support us. We have some people that donate hunts and trips for our students. We have some people that donate products for our students to use. Moultrie cameras and feeders, they've been a big asset to our program. You know, what we've seen is a lot of Alabama-based companies have been supporting and promoting what we do just because we're here in their home state. But we're looking to branch out. And I think as the program continues to grow and continue to gain momentum, we're starting to get some exposure outside the state. Just a couple of weeks ago, we were honored to receive the Conservation Educator of the Year award through the Alabama Wildlife Federation. And that's starting to gain some national exposure as well, and being nominated for some national awards. So we're starting to get out a little bit more, and hopefully we can get some more of these outdoor companies involved in what we're doing.
Thanks for that, William. And folks, the thousands of people who listen to my show are pro staffs, and you got the connections. You know the people that might be interested in talking with William about the program. How would they get in touch with you?
They can get in touch with me several ways. You can go to our website, outdoorscholars.montevallo.edu. All of our contact information is on there, email address, phone numbers. That's the best way. Or they can be like a lot of these students are. They reach out to us through social media with direct messages and things of that nature. So, but again, all of our contact information is listed there on the website at outdoorscholars.montevallo.edu.
And thanks for that. Now, let's switch it up. So, okay, I get into your program. You know, a freshman. It's a 4-year program, correct?
Correct.
So it's my first year. What am I going to learn in a synopsis? I mean, don't take me
right
9 months.
It's amazing what our students learn from the outdoor aspect. Our students are divided up into groups every year, and they're given a task to take care of a conservation project. We have several lined up this year. A land management project that is going to be broken down into segments, whether it's taking care from the timber aspect, learning about timber growth and things you need to do to have a good stand of timber, to population surveys through game cameras, deer populations, predator control. They'll take care of that through trapping. We will do some planting of food plots and clearing of some land. We'll do a habitat restoration project on a lake here close to campus. Those kind of things are things that we start off with from the go, because students, even though they may not own a huge tract of land or work for an outfitter that is managing property, they may have a family farm that they need to take care of it at some point in their life, or even a leased piece of property that they're a part of a hunting club. It's teaching them things that they can give back to the outdoors, the environment, and the critters that roam around to make it a better place than when they first came to it. So that's one of the big things that they do throughout the course of the year. Secondly, we have a guest speaker series that involves bringing in different people from the outdoor industry to talk to these students. They talk to students about what they do for a living, how they got there, and how a young person can possibly one day be in that same position. This allows the students to really see what's out there. So many young people, when they think about careers related to the outdoors, they think your wildlife management, your forestry programs. They think, having your own hunting or fishing show on TV. That's what they think of, being a game warden. That's it. And there's so much more out there that's available, and a lot of young people just aren't aware of it. So they're being introduced to careers and opportunities that they possibly would have never thought of before this program. So that's a big component of what we do. Some of our guest speakers that we've had over the last 2 years were biologists. They were people who run hunting lodges, ranches, someone who may invent a product that's out on the market.
Whitetail Rendezvous is pleased to announce a partnership with GoHunt.com. Who's GoHunt.com? Well, if you're a DIY hunter, you need the information at GoHunt.com/insider. Why? Because it provides 4,200 profiles, every unit, every species, and every season. Furthermore, they give in-depth analysis, interactive maps, unit access, and seasonal trends. Draws are very important, and they give you the most accurate information in the business. All this is available when you go to GoHunt.com/insider. Make sure you use promo code WR when you join Insider. You'll get a $50 gift card for GoHunt.com Gear Shop. All in all, if you're hunting out west in 2018, GoHunt.com Insider is where you need to be to get all the research information. When you use promo code WR, Whitetail Rendezvous receives a small commission from GoHunt.com.
To game wardens, to educators, to people that may work for a nonprofit organization through the outdoors. So they're definitely exposed to a lot of people. We also do community service projects. It's important for our students to give back. At some point in time, someone had to introduce them to the outdoors, and we try to do the same thing through our program, is introduce other people to the outdoors, and or take people that may not be as privileged or have the resources to get out in the outdoors. This past year, we did 2 different projects, community service projects that related to children. We took several groups of special needs children out fishing through an organization here in central Alabama. It was called Gone Fishing, Just Not Wishing, where they brought in students from 3 different counties that had special needs and let them enjoy several days out on the water fishing. It was a great experience for our students. The students that have been here more than 1 year, they love doing this event every year. So it's great to see them give back. Another program that we helped with is Kids Outdoors. Kids Outdoors had a big fundraising event to help raise money to take terminally ill children on different hunting and fishing trips. So we were able to help with that fundraiser as well. So anytime that we can give back and promote the outdoors as well, that's what we want to do. And lastly, with our program, probably the most fun that the students have are getting to go on the different hunting and fishing trips that are available to them. Students in our program, as long as they maintain their grades, they're eligible each year for a trip. Our trips can range anything from deer hunt to duck hunt to fishing trips, inshore, offshore, turkey hunt. bow fishing trips, whatever you can think of, we line that up for our students to introduce them to new outdoor experiences. Most of our students grow up deer hunting and bass fishing. Uh, and I was the same way. That's basically all I did as a child. And as I got older, I had other people introducing me to different aspects of the outdoors, and we try to do the same too. And it hit me a couple months ago at how these young people have such a direct impact on the economics of the outdoor industry. For example, we introduced one of our current students to waterfowl hunting. He had never been on a waterfowl hunt ever before. And being able to take him on a trip, we did an early season goose hunt, and we had a fabulous time. We had a lot of success in the field, but he learned a lot, and it introduced a new passion to him. After that hunt, he went out, bought all this waterfowl hunting gear, started duck hunting a lot through the winter. After the season was over, we went out and he bought a Labrador Retriever. He's training it right now. He's gotten into a duck lease, and I mean, he's spending all this money related to his newfound passion. And that's, we're seeing that a lot with our students. They're finding new things. Not that they're going away from their typical go-tos. They're deer hunting and bass fishing. They're just adding more things to their toolbox of things that they enjoy doing. And that's awesome to see these young people grow in those areas and be introduced to something new and pick it up and have such a deep passion for it. So that's kind of what you would expect from our program. And I'm sure you're sitting there thinking, man, I wish I could go back to school and do all these things.
Well, I sort of kind of did because I went hunting to eat. You know, I went to
That's
school
right.
on the Mississippi Flyway in La Crosse, Wisconsin. So, you know, rough grouse, and we'd catch walleyes, and we'd shoot ducks and geese, and then we'd shoot a deer. I mean, because that was food. I mean, I was
Right.
poor college student, so it was kind of, that was by necessity almost for the people who wanted to do that. No, the people didn't want
Right.
to do it. But you know, I had a great time, and I was fortunate to have buddies that either had deer, had a boat. I had a, what the heck did I have? Sportsman, a Grumman sport canoe. So it had a little transom. You could put a 2 horsepower on it and go
Right.
just about any place you wanted to go. But you know, I've been lucky that way. But to have a curriculum like you're talking about, with really they're experiencing. They're putting, their hands are getting dirty. They're seeing the impact. They're helping other people, and you know, I hear all that. Now, what about, okay, when they graduate? Do they have reading, writing, arithmetic, or history, or another language like a liberal arts school?
What our students, the way the program was initially set up, it was a kind of an extracurricular activity or club, so to speak. As we move forward and as the demand grows, we have started a new program called Outdoor Resource Marketing. It's going to run through our College of Business, and so it's starting to get a curriculum base to it. Currently, it will be just a minor. We're working towards a major. It'll be a couple years down the line. It's kind of trial and error, see if it works. You know, do all the paperwork, everything you need to do to make it happen. But our students won't necessarily have to be in this program, this degree-seeking program, to be involved in the Outdoor Scholars Program. It's just another option. Currently, our students can come in and major in any program that Montevallo has to offer. And after looking at our courses that we offer and majors that we offer, I think just about any program our students choose can tie back to the outdoors in some capacity, which is a good thing because they may not find a job right out of college that interests them in the outdoors, or there just may not be anything available, but they have that degree to fall back on. So they'll have a job once they graduate school. Then they can always go back to that area in the outdoors, or they may get lucky and find a job. But we're hoping that we can create a funnel to the job market through our students and our programs. So when they do graduate, we can help guide them along the way. But we're very excited about the start of this new minor. And what we're hoping that this will do is give our students a good basic background, so to speak, on different areas that they could use once they hit the job market. What we've been able to see and talking with many different people, these folks that work within these companies of the outdoors, they wear many hats. They don't just do one task. Their job involves many different things. So in a day and time that, with social media and the marketing efforts that through digital ads and things of that nature, we feel like it's very important that they have, some videography background, some editing classes to go on top of the business courses that they may take. Some courses dealing in retail, even some of our environmental studies courses or biology. So they'll be very well rounded, and that's what being a liberal arts institution, that's what it's about, having a liberal arts degree, is being well rounded. We hear people tell our faculty and staff here all the time how prepared our students are when they graduate college, and how they're able to think on their feet and think outside the box. And that's what the liberal arts education does, is it makes you think. And adding this degree program into our already existing outdoor scholars program, I feel like it's just going to make us that much more successful.
Two questions. Has anybody given you a lab yet, like a farm?
We do. The university owns about 100 acres, about, I'd say, 3 miles from campus. And that's kind of our playground, our outdoor playground. So we have access to that. That's where a lot of our projects will be this year. And we've even done a few hunts on it last year. It's an opportunity for our students to reap the benefits of their hard work and kind of see something through from start to finish. You go out, you plow the dirt, you put the seed in the ground, it starts to grow. You get to go out and enjoy a good afternoon hunt, and that's what it's about. It's about putting your work in and making it better than the way you found it, and just having a good time and getting to share it with other people that have that same passion as you. So we're fortunate to have something like that, just right here, right out the back door of campus. So it's a great opportunity for our students.
Yeah, I mean, you could spend the whole semester out there, all different aspects. I mean,
that's right.
All different aspects, and they'd be learning because, as we know, food plot business is just going crazy. Everybody's a farmer now, and rightfully so, because it's going to make the deer healthier. But it's a huge learning process. I know that from personal experience on that. Say, let's switch it up. What about QDMA? What's your relationship with QDMA?
Right now we shared a couple emails back and forth. I don't know, probably a year and a half ago, and we just never could get together on anything. Again, we want to broaden our reach of who we come in contact with, who we're able to work with. There is a group that we work closely with here in the state of Alabama called the Management Advantage, and they're in the process of helping us with some of this land management tactics and being able to work with the students in different regards. And they've been able to help us a lot in reaching some of these folks in the industry. So we would love to form a great working relationship with organizations like them, or even some of the nonprofits like Ducks Unlimited, Delta Waterfowl, NWTF, those types of organizations, because I think we could definitely partner with them and reap the benefits from both sides of being able to work together for a common goal.
Yeah, and well said. So, folks, if you're a member of these or on their board or just, personally involved in some of these conservation groups, um, reach out to William and find out about what they're doing because, as we all know, recruitment in the outdoor industry is key. Hunting industry, it's really key. But by having kids that are graduate from their program and have them part of your company, part of your group, only strengthens it and allows them to tell their story to a huge audience. And that's what really we have to do is tell our story because there's a lot of misinformation about what we do, how we do it, why we do it. But with a program that Dr. Stewart has initiated and Bill's running, um, there's a huge opportunity here. So that's my 2 cents.
Very, very good 2 cents. I'd have given it 5 cents.
You're so kind, a true Southern gentleman, that's for sure. Hey, let's wrap the show up. It is about a whitetail rendezvous, but let's spend a couple minutes talk about your hunting tradition. You mentioned that whitetails and bass. Let's talk about a little about that, and then we're going to wrap the show.
Absolutely. That's how I got my introduction to the outdoors was being in the deer woods. I can remember taking the first trip down to the hunting camp as a 3-4-year-old little boy, and going through work days and throwing sticks out of the road, just getting out and playing in the dirt. That's how it got to start. And I can remember begging my dad to take me deer hunting, and finally once I hit 4 or 5 years old, was able to go and just to see the passion he had for the animals and for the outdoors, and there's no doubt it rubbed off on me. But then just getting to there were times I can remember as a child that it was time to leave deer camp and head home, and I'd cry because I didn't want to leave. I wanted to stay, and any time that I had to go, it was rough. But just being around it, and deer hunting is a family thing, and being able to deer hunt with other family members through the years, and then now as I have a family of my own, being able to introduce them to deer hunting and the outdoors is a great honor and privilege to be able to share what I've been taught through the years. And now more so than ever, and I didn't think I would ever reach this stage, but I enjoy just getting out and just sitting there. Whether I see anything or harvest anything, it's just about being out in the outdoors and away from the everyday hustle and bustle that goes on, and being able to work with the land and grow deer. And I think a lot of people are like that these days. Being able to keep up with your herd and know what you have, and being able to grow the whitetails, it's very rewarding. I live in an area here in Alabama and hunt in what is called the Black Belt, and going out and being able to see an abundance of deer and wildlife just about every time you go out. We take those things for granted, but we just have to continue to plug along and again make it better than what the way we found it. So deer hunting is definitely where I got my start, and through the years, I've developed a passion for turkey hunting and waterfowl hunting, and I pretty much do it all now. And I love every bit of it. Anytime I can get out there and spend time with family and friends, it's a great experience. So, the outdoors is I think has made me who I am today. And again, some of these young people may not have those same experiences, and being able to introduce them to the same things that I was introduced to, that's the most rewarding part.
Well, Mr. Crawford, well said. Thank you for giving us a complete overview of the President's Outdoor Scholars Program. And so with that, thank you for being a guest on our show.
Absolutely. Thanks for having us.
Coming up, we're heading out to Pennsylvania. We're going to meet up with Clint Campbell. A lot of you guys know Clint Campbell. He's got a podcast called The Truth from the Stand. And he also has an associated blog along with his podcast. What's Clint sharing with you? He's sharing with you what it means to be a hunter. He's sharing with you what it means to just go out there and hunt. Forget about all the possible accolades. Forget about everything that you think you knew about hunting. And all of a sudden you figure out it just didn't work because you read it in a magazine or whatever. Well, Truth from the Stand is exactly that. He'll tell you exactly what works for him. And during the show, you're going to find out how he put the smackdown on a 125 class buck in Ohio, and he was never on the ground before, and he did it in 3 sets. So a man that can do that is a man that's worthwhile to listen to. So I welcome Clint Campbell. Hey, folks, we got a new sponsor. It's called Buckwild Coffee. What's so special about Buckwild Coffee? Well, a gazillion people go to Starbucks every day and drink coffee. Well, why shouldn't Buckwild Coffee offer you light, medium, or dark roast with free shipping? All you have to do is go to whitetailrendezvous.com, go to shop, and order your coffee, and I'll ship it out for free. Hey, thanks so much for visiting Buckwild Coffee. The best brew in the West, the best brew around the campfire, the best brew in the hunting shack, the best brew anywhere. Buckwild Coffee. Get yours today. From the Truth from the Tree Stand podcast.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to tune in tomorrow for another episode of Whitetail Rendezvous, where you can listen and learn from the experts so you can be more successful on your next hunt. Until next time, listen, learn, and succeed.